All right, perfect. Hey everybody, this is Cynthia de Wolf, a marketing lead from Bright Union, and today we're hosting a fireside chat with Jorrit Kooi, our business lead, and Phil Holbrook, creator of 180 Protocol, to discuss how the insurance industry can unlock trillions of value trapped data. Before we kick off, could you please give us a short intro?
Yeah, absolutely. Should I go first, Jorrit?
Sure, go ahead.
Great. Okay. So my name's Phil. First of all, it's a pleasure to be here. Thank you, Cynthia and Bright Union for hosting. So my background is in traditional financial services, but in truth, during my career, I was always a frustrated entrepreneur, really. So I took a career break to go and learn about innovation, studying at Cambridge, initially in financial services, but the 180 Protocol story was actually born at Cambridge, and we spun out of the university initially as a fintech business before morphing into a technology network for all industries. So I believe passionately in, I guess, the next generation of the internet, the so-called Web3 revolution, and its application in traditional industries. So at 180 Protocol, what we've done is we've created a solution to unlock Web3 for enterprise via a toolkit for easy data collaboration and commercialization.
All right, perfect. Yeah, nice to meet you. And Jorrit?
Yeah, thanks, Cynthia, and Phil as well for being here today. I think it's nice to have this chat where we can learn a bit more on the partnership that we have announced. So my name is Jorrit Kooi. Background is in banking. Decided to leave the banking world, and I think we shared it a bit, but also was more eager to dive into the entrepreneurial side of things. I have been working as an advisor for multiple businesses. I've also set some business up myself, and I'm currently the business lead of Bright Union. And Bright Union, maybe a bit of background on the project. We started exactly 12 months ago. Bright Union is a DeFi coverage aggregator. We're based in Amsterdam. Actually, we're happy to be in Amsterdam. Currently a team of around 10 people, most of them with insurance or DeFi backgrounds. So we really try to build a team of experts. And basically, the key product that we've launched last year is, like I mentioned, the insurance aggregator. So basically, we've built a platform which allows people to find and select covers. We cover more than 200 insurance products for protocols. And we try to make that a very smooth customer experience. I think it's fair to say that we offer products now for the best price. And we've seen good traction in 2021, which we're proud of. So we have more than 2.5 million now in covers sold, and ramping up to an exciting month in February, where we will launch the Bright Risk Index. But I will tell a bit more about that later.
Great. Thank you both. Nice to have you here. Phil, to dive a little bit more deeper, could you explain a little bit more about 180 Protocol? Because from what I've understood is that you sometimes refer to booking.com, that it is booking.com but without a middleman, so decentralized.
Yeah, so let me try and sort of break down what the technology does and what we ultimately hope to achieve. So really what the technology does is enables the collaborative sharing of sensitive or structured data amongst enterprises. That's a really sort of interesting use case in and of itself. And as we'll see in a second, it has huge potential in traditional industries, including the insurance sector. But what's really exciting for me about enabling sort of collaborative data sharing is the ability to create network effects amongst businesses. And that's really important to effectively decentralize a lot of the traditional intermediary functions, and also to create efficiencies across the value chain between businesses. So really what we aspire to create are effectively decentralized platforms that are democratized and jointly owned amongst businesses to add value in a given industry vertical.
Yeah, so basically it's an infrastructure project what you're building.
That's right. Yeah,
Yeah.
It's absolutely the infrastructure project. And to go into the technology briefly, we combine it's really an off-chain scaling solution for Web3. And what we do is we combine a private enterprise-focused DLT with the public blockchain layer, and also embed some privacy capability into that tech stack, which enables us the sharing of sensitive information without any data actually being exposed to any one participant.
Yeah, makes sense. Can we maybe dive a little bit deeper into then the insurance industry? How could it be applied, or what are the problems right now in this industry, and how could you help in this?
Yeah, sure. So let me take a step back, I think, and explain a bit more about what attracted us to Bright Union in the first place. So we're unashamedly creating a token economy. We believe that through a token economy, we can weave together lots of different microeconomies or commercial use cases to generate significant value for a network, and that value can be captured via a token. But whenever you think about a token economy, there's a litany of risks that we all need to consider. And when we think about issuing a token, and when we think about enterprises deploying a token, we're very concerned about some of the risks that might persist from that token economy. So partnering with Bright Union made absolute sense for us to ensure that we're reducing as many barriers as possible to Web3 adoption for our customers and token holders. So that's the background. Within the insurance sector itself, we think there's an enormous opportunity. The insurance sector is, I guess, characterized by legacy inefficiencies, old-fashioned or old technologies, and so on. And there's a huge amount of repeat effort that's required to effectively ensure a given risk. So technology implementation within the insurance sector is rapidly increasing. InsurTech itself is forecast to generate revenues in excess of 10 billion by 2025. So it's a really hot sector to be innovating within. So that really attracts us both to Bright Union as a partner to provide insurance coverage, but also as a partner to explore commercial use cases in the sector.
Yeah, Jorrit, can you add something to that when it comes to problems in data and insurance industry?
Yeah, no, I think it's an interesting approach that Phil is taking there. I think the approach that I would like to add there is that we start off really as a coverage platform for DeFi risk. So I think, as we know, the yields can be very attractive in this space, but the risks are also quite huge. In last year alone, more than 10 billion of capital was lost through hacks and smart contract failures. And that risk simply needs insurance solutions. So we have now been able to build insurance solutions for that specific DeFi risk component. And we're not doing that alone. Let me be clear. We have a group of partners that are basically providing us with those risk products. And we as Bright Union put a layer on top of it as an aggregator. I think that's very important. And additionally important there is the capital availability. So we now also launching the Bright Risk Index, which will help to provide more capital into these insurance covered products. I think that's critical. And then ultimately what we would like to do, and that's I think where 180 protocol comes in, we're currently leveraging the blockchain technology, which is very critical and important to build insurance products, which are simply better, faster, and smarter than I think in the traditional world. If we have solutions like 180 protocol, we will be able to, on the data side, even leverage that further. And I think nicely on our roadmap on the long term is to converge both worlds. So not only offer crypto DeFi risk products, but really move more in the traditional insurance world as well. So bring the capacity, the skills of the crypto and DeFi worlds, the blockchain world, into the kind of traditional industry. And that's where we really see the biggest value of the partnership with 180 protocol. I think it's nice that we already start the partnership now. We can move along, but I think we have a dot on the horizon, both, which is very narrow, and I think that's actually a beautiful kind of way of working jointly towards that goal.
Right. And maybe about the future of, so we now see, understand the tradition, how we see the future of insurance. But can you also, Jorrit, explain something about what is in the roadmap for Bright Union when it comes to the future of insurance or coverage?
Yeah, let me first elaborate briefly on the biggest issue that we currently see, which is the availability of capital. So we see a lot of interest for specific covers for certain protocols, but the availability of those covers is very limited, simply because there's no capital available. Well, what we have designed now is a product called the Bright Risk Index. It's basically a pooled risk solution, which offers APYs of 20 to 30% on stablecoins. And basically what it will do is, if just an example, if I put $100 now in capital into the Bright Risk Index, this will not only be put into one protocol, but it will be diversified among different protocols and also different risk platforms. So the risk per person is lower, the APYs are very attractive, and we think that this product will really help to boost the capital availability in the industry. So instead of providing capital for one dedicated protocol, this is a diversified way of providing capital and simply make the provision of capital more attractive for a broader group of customers. Well, that's the key item, the key issue that we have identified in 2021. We're solving that with the launch of the Bright Risk Index in February. So we're launching that in the next couple of days. That's the first major milestone on our roadmap. And then we will further improve the accessibility of the buy cover product as well, with more protocols, so make it further accessible. And then on the midterm, which will be Q4, we expect to launch some initiatives already bridging the crypto DeFi markets with the traditional insurance markets. So we are already exploring partnerships in that regard. But I think those are the key milestones on our roadmap. And again, the partnership with 180 fits nicely, especially in the last one.
Are there any exciting things, Phil, that you want to share about the near future?
Yeah, absolutely. And really exciting to hear what's happening at Bright Union too. And hopefully we can work together towards the end of this year and onwards on exciting new insurance use cases. So we're sort of gearing up towards our own token launch. And in advance of that, we recently launched our alpha tech release. So that's visible on our website. You can look at our wiki, you can look at our GitHub, and it's technology that enables the privacy preserved sharing of data amongst different businesses with an attribution framework for value to be shared fairly amongst contributors. Now, that particular technology actually has pretty broad-ranging applications within the insurance sector, just to highlight that, in particular to enable the sharing of data, which is critical in the underwriting process or is critical in the fraud prevention process, for example. So it's a technology that would enable either traditional insurers or insurtech challengers or whomever, Bright Union, to effectively share that data and greatly increase the efficiencies for risk underwriting. And the nice thing about our technology and the nice thing about, 180 protocol in general is that opportunity set, which persists in insurance, is repeated across many, many industries. Really, there's an abundance of potential when it comes to the sharing of data between enterprises to improve efficiencies and to improve commercial potential, mainly because enterprises are pretty bad at collaborating and pretty bad at sharing data. And there's lots of reasons for that. But the major problem that our technology solves is ultimately incentive alignment, meaning everybody can participate knowing they're going to get their fair share of the pie of the commercial value that's created. So really excited by the potential that we see in the financial services sector, in the insurance sector, in the hospitality sector, and indeed in the arts and culture sector, where we're working on a project right now with a major UK museum, the National Gallery, to help them to create a framework for the use of NFTs within the museum sector, and ultimately to collaborate to deliver that strategy across the sector and the arts and culture sector more broadly. So exciting times for 180 Protocol, and look out for more about our token launch later this year.
Yeah, exciting. So basically you are making it easy for enterprises to share their data and to leverage it, so to monetize it. I think for enterprises it may not be possible because sometimes the information is private, or and sometimes it's just not interesting for these enterprises to share it because maybe the information may be opaque or vague. And I think it resonates a lot with us, of course, Jorrit, in the insurance industry, where a lot of risks are opaque.
Yeah, 100%. And I think it emphasizes the importance of data also for us. For example, in the whole claims management processes, data is always critical, assessments. And I actually expect a lot of value from this. And I'm also excited to hear the broader kind of use cases that the 180 is building. So not only in insurance, but also, for example, in the art world. And maybe one nice anecdote there is that we are also exploring insurance products in that regard, in that specific segment. And that might be another way that we can work together. So I think that's a good one. And maybe one thing that I would like to say is just that to better understand the magnitude of this whole DeFi insurance world. I think currently around 0.25% of the DeFi investments are insured. While yesterday we learned that around 63% of the people say that they're considering insurance for their investments. So just to highlight the huge potential that there is in this market. And I think it's on the back of partnerships that we announced today, that we will be able to capture that market. But more importantly, just bring a DeFi product which is better for people, which will bring sustainable returns, and also provide a better risk-reward balance for everyone.
All right. I think we've covered everything here. Is there anything that you guys would like to share before we close it off?
So from my side, it's just to re-emphasize, I guess, that we're passionate about what the Web3 opportunity across various industries, and in particular the insurance sector. Even on this call, there's been 3 or 4 different touch points that Jorrit and I have hit on where there's potential for us to further collaborate and further add value. So really exciting times for us, really excited about this partnership, and look forward to seeing where we get to.